Canon's first big announcement of the year is coming on March the 26th. Will we get the Canon RF 200 to 500mm, the Canon EOS R6 Mark III, a redesign of the APS-C line with the EOS RV, the EOS R50V, and even the PowerShot V1? And what about a whole bunch of lenses? Well, I'll answer these questions in this video. But first, I have a rather simple and yet humble request. Please hit that subscribe button. It really doesn't cost you anything. It helps this channel grow, and it keeps you informed on the latest camera gear, such as the big Canon announcement on March the 26th. Canon Rumors just posted this. It looks like we're going to have a big day later this month. Canon's going to announce two new V-Series EOS R APS-C cameras, along with a global announcement of the Canon PowerShot V1. And that's not all, but as far as those cameras go, it really shouldn't be a surprise because, well, we've been talking about the PowerShot V1, the EOS RV, and the EOS R50V for several weeks now. And in terms of pricing, the PowerShot V1 will launch for $899. And as far as the price in euros, well, we expect that price to be pretty close. Maybe instead of $899, it could be 999 euros. But now it's time to turn our attention to the Canon EOS R50V. Now, Canon Rumors says it's going to list for a price of $50. Yeah, I know, Ryan, it's obviously wrong. And in fact, Canon Rumors has just refreshed the site and corrected that. The price of the Canon EOS R50V, $650. And if you've watched my post this morning, my video on YouTube, this same channel, I talked about the EOS R50V, and I suggested it would have a price anywhere from $579 to $679. So looks like, once again, Ryan, good job on getting that price. 650, we're pretty close. So what about the Canon EOS RV, a camera that I talked about being essentially Canon's head-to-head with the Sony ZV-E10. In fact, Canon's attempt to not only match the ZV-E10 Mark II, but to, well, leapfrog it. Well, Canon Rumors says we wouldn't be surprised to see the Canon EOS RV come in at around $1,000. To come in at around $1,000. And once again, in our video this morning, we were saying the same thing, that it should come in at around $1,000. Now, it could be $999, it could also go to $1,099. But you see, Sony with the ZV-E10 is really setting the price point here. They're the market leader. Now, if Canon is going to leapfrog the Sony ZV-E10, the Mark II, well, yes, it could go $100 more, but it can't just be Canon's viewpoint that they're leapfrogging the competition, the ZV-E10 Mark II. It's got to be your viewpoint. It's got to be everybody's viewpoint to be able to justify charging more than the ZV-E10 Mark II, or at least matching it. So I'm really curious to see what the final price is going to be. But that's not all. We have more announcements that are going to be happening on March the 26th. We expect to see one PowerZoom RFS wide-angle zoom lens, although it would be great if they announced a trio of PowerZoom lenses with the launch of those cameras. And as far as the R6 Mark III and the Canon 200 to 500mm f4 or 5.6, I'll cover that off later in this video, but now it's time to turn our attention to the exact date and time of the announcement. Canon Rumors says that the announcement is expected to happen on or around March the 26th, 2025. Of course, it really depends on where you are on the planet. And what I'm hearing from my sources is it's going to be a midnight announcement, and it's probably going to happen sometime between Tuesday, March the 25th at around 11 p.m. to midnight, which falls into the 26th. Now, the reason why these dates and times are a little bit squishy at this point, here in North America, Canada, and the United States, we've already moved into daylight savings time, so that shifts things off by an hour. So that's why at this point, without knowing the time zone, it's impossible to tell you the exact date and time, but I'm going to book a live stream. I'm going to cover it live starting 1 hour before the announcement to get you guys ready. But you might notice I have the smart pre-order links in the description down below. These guys right here for Adorama and B&H. if you're interested, or even if you're on the fence, I highly recommend copying these down, putting them in your browser. They're not going to work right now, but as soon as the embargo is lifted, it's going to list you every single option for the EOS RV, the EOS R50V, the PowerShot, and various kit packages that are offered by Adorama and B&H. Because this is a Canon product, and I suspect from everything I'm hearing, these are going to be very popular. They're going to sell out very, very quickly. So these smart pre-order links will help you get into the queue a little bit quicker. But a little bit selfish on my part, they also really do help keep this channel on the air. It's viewer supported. You're literally keeping the lights on. So if you do use these smart pre-order links, I can get anywhere from a 2 to 5% commission. But yeah, I'm really excited by this. It's been a rather slow year so far. I hate it when real news kind of takes over, and I'm glad to see that this is looking exciting. So you might be wondering, well, Simon, what about the 200 to 500 in the Canon EOS R6 Mark III? Are those also going to be announced? Well, to all the pro photographers out there like Joshua Holku, sad to say that the 200 to 500 f4 or 5.6, we've heard nothing more on this lens. This might be one of those Canons kind of gearing around with it, changing things around, maybe appealing to video shooters a little bit more like they did with the 35mm f1.2, which changed into a 1.4 VCM. But for the Canon EOS R6 Mark III, it's not going to be announced, but we have heard that this camera is going to be a big update. It's going to take the crown back away from Nikon, and most likely it's going to shine. It's going to overshadow Sony, which isn't expected to announce their A7 V. I was going to say A7R5, the A7 V until Q4 this year, and probably not start shipping until January of 2026. So that leaves the doors open for Canon. And based on what we're hearing, it's going to be a really incredible camera. The specs alone aren't really going to tell you how good this camera is. But unfortunately, we don't have any information other than it's probably a Q2 announcement. I want to say a special thanks to all of my subscribers, for everybody viewing in, watching this video to the very end. And for those of you consider using my smart pre-order links, it really does keep this channel on the air, help support this channel, and I very much appreciate it. One other thing you might want to be aware of is I also have new membership levels. One is called the Insider at $9.99 a month. And what I do is on a weekly basis is publish at least one video of what goes on behind the scenes. And I've got another one that I've got recorded. Maybe I'll do it with this one here. I'll show you the actual footage, what it looks like before I edit it without any cuts or anything. And where I say things multiple times to try to get things right. But I want to say a special thanks to those of you who have become members. And for those of you watching this channel to the very end, it's very much appreciated. Have yourself a great day, a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Most likely very soon. I've already got a video scheduled for Friday, but maybe, no, that's a big one. I should put that out tomorrow. Anyhow, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.